Hey everyone, good morning and welcome back to my new video. In today's video, we are going to learn about preposition of place, and in this video, we will learn about at, on, in and by. Actually, we have a lot of confusion in on and in, so I am gonna give you very easy trick so that you will understand very easily how to use in and how to use on, where to use in and where to use on. And we are I am gonna give you three tricks, and these three tricks you can see here. The first one is this triangle, and the second one is stand, and the third one is yours. Now you might be thinking, what is this triangle and what are these two words? Then I will explain it later. But at first I want to explain this triangle. Now see, I have made one triangle. I have drawn one triangle, and here I have divided this triangle into three parts, and in the upper part I have written here at, and in the middle of the part I have written here O and on, and I am gonna draw this triangle again here. Now see, this bigger part is in, and this middle part is on, and this smaller part is at. Now you can see this is smaller part, this is middle part, and this one is very big part, as this has covered lots of area. Now I will make you understand through this triangle where to use on and where to use this in. Now let's talk about, and yeah, I will tell you about transportation, like location and time. Then let's come into the at first. This is at, and if you are talking about transportation, then forget this at, because there is no use of at while talking about transportation. Now let's come to the location, a specific location. If you are talking about a specific location, then you have to use at here. And what is a specific location? A specific location means if you are talking about home, I am at home. If you are talking about school, I was at school at that time. If you are talking about airport, if you are talking about your workplace, even if you are talking about small places, then you are gonna use this at. Now you might be thinking, which is a small place, which is a big place, how to identify this? Now I am telling you. Now you see, compare this airport, this highway and this Delhi. Then which one is smaller? If we compare this airport with highway and Delhi is a big city, then obviously it is very big in size and it is occupied large area. So you can say this Delhi is very big. And now if you talk about highway, then highway is bigger than this airport. So it means that among these three, airport is very small. So where it is small, that's why you have to use at here. Okay. Now let's talk about this time. If you are talking about the exact amount of time, if you are talking about the I will go at 9 o'clock. If you are talking about exact time, at that time you have to use at. And when you talk, if you are talking about night, always you have to use at while talking about night. I sleep at 10, I sleep at night, I will play a game at night. If you are talking about night, then you have to use at only. You don't have to use in, on, at, etc. Now let's move towards on. Now on and in has lots of confusion, so I am gonna explain it very clearly. Now train, bus, plane, boat, where you can walk by standing. Now see, if you are talking about large vehicle where there are lots of space, where there are bigger space, where you can stand easily, you should not have make yourself smaller like this. In that vehicle you have to use it on. In that vehicle where you can stand, where you can walk easily while that vehicle is in motion also, then in that vehicle you have to use on. mind it, if the vehicle is very big, where you can stand, where you can walk, where you can run while that vehicle is in motion, then in that vehicle you have to use on. Now on large space, if it is, yeah, and the next step you see I have written here stand. Stand means that if you can stand in the way in such vehicle, then you have to use on. And next is, if that vehicle is not your. Now see, bus, if you talk about bus, and if you talk about train, aeroplane, that it can't be personal. Like if you can the car can be your personal. You can go for long drive in car, but no one can say that I am going a long drive with my on my car. Train, because it is for large number of population, and many people can adjust at a time on the train, so you have to use on while talking about train, ship, bus, and etc. And yeah, there is one funny exception that you know what, the person whose work is fishing, the fisherman can have his own boat, a small boat. If someone has his own boat, maybe especially the person whose work is fishing, he or she buy sometime boat for their fishing purpose, then in that case he or she can use in. But mind it, if it is yours, if it is for public, if many people are going there for, then you cannot use there in. You have to use always on. This is one of the funny exceptions. Now let's talk about bike, bicycle, horse, camel, tricycle. What you have to use in these all, then you have to use on while you talk, while we talk about bike, horse, camel, tricycle. Then in this case we have to use on, because you are not gonna sit inside it. You cannot go inside the camel, inside the bicycle. You have to sit on the bicycle, on the bike. So you have to use on while talking about bicycle, while talking about camel. And you know what, the most cheapest means of transport is our leg, our foot. So we have to use on for our foot also. If someone asks you, how did you go your uncle's house, then how you can reply, I went on foot. I went there on foot, on my foot, because this is your feet and you are standing on the feet, so you have to use on my foot, or I went there on foot. And now let's talk about floor, highway, GT road. Now I already told you, if you are talking about a smaller place, then you have to use at. If you are talking about bigger place, then you have to use in. And if you are talking about not bigger and not smaller, like if it is middle, then you have to use on. Now see, highway, GT road, floor. If you are talking about school, and if you are talking about GT road, if you are talking about a country, then which one is like medium? Then of course this GT road can be medium than this country and airport. So when you're talking about not a bigger place, not a smaller place, if it is like it comes in medium, then you have to use on here, like for floor, highways, GT road. And you can use your own mind, your own common sense, which is smaller, which is medium, and which is bigger. And in this way you can use on. Now let's talk about the time. When you are talking about particular specific day, a specific day mean, if you are talking about Christmas day, if you are talking about Valentine day, if you are talking about your holy day, and if you are talking about Sunday, Monday, if you are talking about a specific particular day, then also you have to use on. For example, and yeah, if you are talking about a date also, then you have to use this on, because for example, I was born on 13th April. This I am talking about my date of birth, date. That's why I have to use here on. I will go there on Valentine. I will give you rose on Valentine Day. In this way you can use this one. And now let's come into the in. Now let's talk about in. I already told you, if the vehicle is very large, if it is not yours, if it can't be personal, then you have to use on. And now think if it is not if it is yours, if that vehicle is not big, the vehicle where you can't stand up straightly, where you have to make yourself smaller like this, then you have to use on. For example, let's take example of car. You cannot move in car while that car is talk, and to car also you cannot move in car while that car is in motion. You cannot walk properly, and you cannot go by standing in that vehicle. So in this case you have to use in. And if you have to make yourself small, no space, yeah, there, because there are no large space there, you can get very less space there, so that you cannot walk there. So you have to use. And the next trick is that it can be a personal. For example, if I am going Sarta Vihar from Burari, and I have paid that car from for here to there, then that car is mine. If I am paying money for Burari to Sarta Vihar, then for this Sarta Vihar, Burari to Sarta Vihar, for that time, for that particular time, that vehicle belongs to me, and that can be my personal. So we have to use if the vehicle belongs to us, if the vehicle is our personal, and if the vehicle if in that vehicle we have to make ourselves smaller, if you cannot stand there straightly, if you cannot move properly while that vehicle is in motion, then in that vehicle you have to use in. Okay, now let's talk about location. Then I already told you that if the vehicle is if we are talking about a smaller area, then we have to use in at and if we are talking about a bigger, not a smaller, if we are talking about just medium, then we have to use this on. And if we are talking about large area, for example, I am talking about America, I am talking about India, I am talking about city, I am talking about Mumbai, Delhi, then in this case you have to use in this in all these places we have to use in. For example, Singapore, Kathmandu, Nepal, because it is comparatively bigger than these all, so you have to use here in. Now let's talk about time, long period of time. If you are talking about long period of time, then also you have to use in. For example, I will complete my course in 1 year, and if you are talking about a decade, if you are talking about month, if you are talking about year, century, then you have to use in here. And now this is by, this is general way of travel, how you get there, how you reach there. In this case we use by. For example, if someone is asking you how did you go your uncle's house, then you can say like I went there by air, I went there by car, I went there by bus. I mean, this is general way of travel where you can use by for giving the answer that how you went there, by bus, by car, by train. So I just hope this video is very helpful for you, and keep this triangle in your mind, then you will explain it very easily in correct way. If you found this video helpful, then please hit like. Now I will meet you in my next video. Till then, bye bye, stay safe.